Are you ready? Hold on.
What in the hell? Okay, I need y'all to pause the video and read this. There are 11 million jobs open and 7 million able bodied males refuse to go back to work. What in the hell is.
So I came across a TikTok post that really, what did they say? Grind my gears. It grinded my gears. And so I have a little rant. I know this is not my regular recording day, but y'all gonna get this throat. Enjoy. Okay, so I might have a little rant. All right, so I saw this post about how there's 11 million jobs and, 7 million able-bodied men and they don't want to go to work. The reality is a lot of these jobs are not willing to pay people a living decent wage. And when I say a living decent wage, I'm talking about people who will be able to take care of themselves mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, and preventative wise. When I say preventative, I mean, does your job give you enough money that way you can go get a $100,000 life insurance policy and be able to pay it consistently without it lapsing? Do you get paid enough money to get a certain amount of money put aside for emergencies? Do you get paid enough money from your job to go ahead and pay your rent, your utilities, gas to go to and from work every 2 weeks? Does your job pay you enough money to pay for daycare, or do you have to get assistance? Does your job pay you enough money for you to get healthy groceries? Not processed junk food that's in the middle of the grocery store. I'm talking about, does your job pay you enough money to make a smarter decision when you go to the grocery store on a consistent basis? Not when that month falls on like a third check. The reality is, yes, there's a lot of jobs. But how many jobs are out here paying people a decent amount per hour to combat inflation, to combat these apartments and these houses that want you to have 3 times the rent, and the rent is starting off at 2K. 2K for a 1 bedroom, but you got 3 kids. 2K for a 1 bedroom, but you have a wife and your parent is ill and your parent lives with you. 2K for nonsense. Oh, we did updates at the apartment, so the rent is going to go up an extra $500. And these people think they slick too by doing certain things that they know they could get away with because that state does not have tenant laws. Like all of these loopholes for people who are more knowledgeable, people who have the overhead and the resources to push out large groups of people. There's a lot of apartments here in Atlanta, in the city, who are pushing out large groups of minorities by not doing updates at apartment buildings. And they should not live there because of how it looks. The rats, the water's not clean. Look at Flint. All those people in Flint that were in charge of those pipelines having lead in it and poisoning all those people got off because a judge just says, oh, I'm going to drop it. I'm going to drop the charges. There are so many reasons why people are not picking these jobs. Let's stop looking at the fact that, yes, there are jobs, we're hiring, but you're also hiring a grown man in his 30s to be paid $10 an hour. What is a man in his 30s going to do with $10 an hour at a job that wants him there from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. and, oh yeah, we're going to give you 2 15-minute breaks and we're going to give you a 30-minute lunch. What is he going to do with that? A 30-minute lunch is not even enough time to go to where you want to get food or have somebody deliver it to you and eat it without having indigestion. Pass him a Tums because he's going to need it every day. And then you have these people who are working, but they are the working poor. They are literally the working poor working a job every day. It took me until my 30s to be able to work a job where I didn't have to work on the weekends. Now, can I possibly work on the weekends with the job that I have now? Yes. But do I logically want to when my kids go to school and they get home around 2 something and I'm still working and I don't get off till close to 7 o'clock and then I have at least 1 hour and something minutes to spend with them quality wise? Do I really want to work the weekends when that's the only time I get to go out, run errands, and engage with them outside of my house? Like, the way these companies want human beings to live on a day-to-day basis and say, we got jobs, they're just not coming to work, they're being lazy. They're not being lazy. What the pandemic has shown people is your time is way more valuable than you thought. Your time is way more expensive than you thought it was. They agreed to give you this job to be paid this because they know you are worth more and you're going to make them more money. That is the only reason why people agree to the deals that they make. And we are all gambling our time. I'm gambling my time right now. I'm gambling my time working a job that's going to help me pay bills in my household that I don't like, that I don't have no plans to move up in, but it pays my bills and it sustains me and it helps me be prepared for emergencies and it helps me feed my family. But it's also taking away quality time I could be spending with my daughters. It's also taking away quality time I could be spending with my mom and my nephews and my brothers. And I can't go on vacation until this job agrees to give me the time to go on vacation. This job that I work every day, right? The reality is people are working and working and working until they die on the job. People are working and working and working and they're still behind on their bills. They're still behind on their rent. So yes, there's going to be jobs, but are those jobs quality? And when I say are those jobs quality, are they giving you something that's realistic so you can make a living, so you could be happy, so you could be at peace and not stressed? And the reality is a lot of them aren't. And that's the problem. That's why there's so many jobs and that's why there's so many other people able to work, but I value my time more because I saw that this job that I was working before this pandemic was stealing all this time away from me, all this time away from my kids, all this time away from the thing that I love that I pushed it aside. There are jobs out here firing people for finding out that they have a second job. Do you know how stupid that is? From age 16 to 30, I work 3 jobs at a time. Yes, I'm Jamaican. Don't even do it. But I work 3 jobs at a time, including internships that at the beginning were not paying me. Okay? There were times in my 20s where I probably only got the maximum 4 hours of rest working 3 jobs and going to college full time. Okay? The U.S. government will allow companies to mentally, emotionally, and financially stress people the fuck out just to make $1. That is what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with lazy people that don't want to work. We're dealing with people that notice that their time is way more valuable than what we've been doing, and they're getting out of the mix. They're getting out of the mix. They're finding a way to be an entrepreneur. They're finding a way to work for themselves. They're finding a way to open their own business and invest in themselves. And I fucking love it. I would rather people do that than to be at a job that they're unhappy with, being a bitch or a dick or talking to somebody crazy because they're miserable. And everyday people we see at restaurants, at the post office, at the grocery store, at a retail store, at the DMV that are fucking miserable and upset and sad and grieving while working. So if that means there's going to be a whole bunch of jobs on the table because those companies don't want to raise their pay, fuck them.
Wake up! Yo, I got new merch on She Gets It shop. Go get some. You know, it's so funny, as a creator, as someone that drops shit like everybody else, right? I understand that things cost money. But at the same time, I also understand that hoodie is no different from this hoodie. That sweatshirt is no different from this sweatshirt. The reality is prices are going up, yes. But at the same time, the reality of someone going out their way to support the next creator and buy something that you know and I know is probably $10 per item. And then to add on to being able to sell it as merch, you probably add $20 on top of that. The reality is people are paying $10 or more for shipping for shit. So really ask yourself, is the price point of what I'm selling making sense? And maybe your shit would sell more. Just saying. But you can find the things on Who Is Shan Shop if you're looking for merch for The Real Relationship Rapport and other things. And to support She Gets It podcast, She Gets It shop with Teespring is on there. All right. The books you already know. It's on lulu.com. I tell you all the time. Find me at Shambi Podden on TikTok, IG, Twitter, and YouTube. Okay. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel, Shannon Pods. I appreciate anybody that watches a clip, shares a clip. I appreciate you trying to move things on that with Stream Studios. Again, if you're a creator and you're looking to stream your videos somewhere, they are going to add on TikTok to be able to stream live to TikTok. So just keep that in mind. I think as a creator, you have to make sure that you're participating in more than one platform, not just IG, not just lives on IG, not just TikTok, not just lives on TikTok, not just Twitter, but people have to know you in different spaces, and you have to be able to show up and engage with different people in order to meet different people. And if you are a new podcaster and you want more engagement and more people to check out your show, get your ass on Good Pods platform and talk to people and share your show and share those clips to your IG, share those clips to your Twitter, share those clips to your friends. And maybe it's not going to be your regular friends that don't listen to podcasts that check your shit out. Maybe you're going to have to find you some podcast friends, okay? Shout outs to my pod fam, the inspiration for 2 of the sweatshirts, the one with the gummies, Baylor! And the Be Mindful of What You Share hoodie. Thank you, Drake from Everything Culture. Y'all check out Everything Culture podcast and BTG for President. Also, just a conversation with Gigi, Greg, and the boys, you know what I'm saying? And check out Young Black and Bothered with Greg from Loudmouth Stereo. That's my rib for Loudmouth Stereo, okay? We do that together. Either way, I support y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. This was definitely, something that had to be done. And let's get back into it. Like, how are people supposed to go to work if they can't afford gas? They can't afford their insurance. They can't afford to renew their their registration. The United States is the only fucking country that makes you do your fucking registration every fucking year. And all the other countries just do it one time when they get the fucking car. Like, the reality is the United States does not want you to be independent, does not want you to be able. They want you to feel in debt to do work so you can get by. And that's not living. That's not living. And I'm happy a lot of people are waking the fuck up and saying, okay, I don't want to live like this. There has to be a better way. And people are out here sharing how they did it. Sharing how they were in poverty and now they're not. And how they're changing their fucking mindset. Because we all have a mindset that we need to change and improve. Don't get it twisted. There are so many men and women working 2 jobs and only passing their kids in their house. Waking up at 5 a.m., passing their children sleeping before they get dressed and go to school. Coming home at 9:30 and their kids are already, they already ate dinner without them. They already talked and played without them. They already took a shower and brushed their teeth with no story, with not seeing them, with not talking to them. And when they come home, their kids are back in the bed. That's not living. Okay? That is you financially being a parent, doing the basics, but your kids don't know who you are. Your kids don't know your personality unless you're off on the weekends. And most men are not off on their weekends. Most men are probably off or they get off early on a Sunday. That's not living. Most women do not see their kids throughout the week in places like New York and DC because they're being nannies to other wealthy people's children that can afford to pay for a nanny just so she can afford to send her kids to a good school, give them a home at least, but they're getting the bare minimum of their mother. That's not living. So if you're telling me there's 11 million jobs out here and nobody wants to work them, you're damn right nobody wants to fucking work them because they don't make sense for what's on people's conscience, what's on people's stress levels of what they need to do compared to me giving this job 10 hours and I can't even pay half of my bills with that shit. So make it make sense and I bet you people will go to work. A lot of the mindset still in the U.S. is for companies to have employees with an under the thumb mentality. So they can't move, they can't wiggle, they can't make a decision for themselves. They're told what time to be here. They're told where they need to be in the system. They're told what time they need to clock out. They're told when they need to go on a break. They're told when they need to come back from lunch. Are we children? Are we children? The micromanaging is ridiculous. Before the pandemic happened, they were told, they were telling people at the company, yeah, we're looking into seeing if this can be done from home. I'm not sure. It might not be possible. When the pandemic happened and they still needed to make profits, we was at home. We was at home with the computers, with the systems, with the logins. So it is possible. Most of these companies don't want to do it. Most of these companies don't want to give you the comfort of not being under someone's thumb, right? And my thing is, you'll have better workers if they're happier, if they're at peace, and if they can know, like, my children are well taken care of. I can spend time with my children. I can take care of my children. I can handle life insurance. I can handle me needing new tires. I can handle the car needing to be fixed. I can handle the fact that I need a new roof. I can handle going on vacation and still coming back and being able to pay my bills. The reality is, I feel like by what I'm experiencing is the government wants to feel like there's a constant hierarchy that people at the bottom have to wish they can get to, but never get to. And the reality is there are so many jobs sitting there with dust on it because these people today understand that they have value. These people today see their family more valuable than a job that will replace them in a blink of an eye. So I don't feel bad about those jobs sitting on the table, because if you look deeper into those jobs, what they're asking people to do and the time that they're asking people to give those jobs, the money don't make sense. The money don't make sense. All right? So unless you can match and get to where the inflation is coming in at, leave people the fuck alone.